Tonight on KGW News, a multi-state manhunt ends in the middle of I-5.
Oh my God! Lindsay, this is not safe.
How authorities saved a baby and stopped the suspect wanted for a double murder. Plus, what makes it so hard to get mental health treatment in Oregon?
They've been abandoned by the state, and they've been forgotten about.
KGW investigates why those in need of care can only get it after they commit a crime. And instead of fish in the Willamette, try high levels of filth. The new attempt to hold people accountable for all that litter.
Oh, they have the babies!
A bright spot in a tragic 36 hours. This is the moment police rescued a 1-year-old after authorities say he was abducted by his father. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. The boy is safe tonight while the suspect is dead, police say, from a self-inflicted gunshot a day after the former cop allegedly killed both his ex-wife and his girlfriend. Alma McCarty is live tonight near Eugene, where this all came to a sudden and stunning end. Alma, how did police track him down?
Yeah, David, the Amber Alert was sent out late last night regarding 39-year-old Elias Huizar, who was accused of that double murder and abduction out of eastern Washington. Now, police were parked up and down I-5 earlier today looking for him, and it was around 2:40 this afternoon that an Oregon State trooper spotted his car. On I-5 South in Lane County,
Something's about to happen. Something's going on.
less than 24 hours after Monday's late-night notification.
I don't think we really registered that had anything to do with the Amber Alert in that sense yet.
Lindsay Birch witnessed what troopers would call the conclusion of a multi-state manhunt for 39-year-old Elias Huizar.
I don't know, honestly, how he dodged hitting my truck, but slid through the gravel and hit the gas tanker semi in front of me.
My heart is racing. I'm scared.
Oh my God.
A startling end and a rescue.
Oh, they have the babies.
Like we had.
Oh.
Since the start, our goal has been simple, and that is to bring Roman Santos home safely. He's the 1-year-old infant who was kidnapped.
Troopers say the 1-year-old is now safe and in the state's custody. Agencies across Oregon and Washington united in this one mission, now proud of the efforts given the nature of this case.
Today was a worst-case scenario for us, and having a murder suspect in the same vehicle is an innocent juvenile. That brings everything up another level for us.
As for the suspect, authorities found him dead inside the car from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That came after the high-speed chase and an exchange of gunfire involving 2 troopers that happened further up the road.
Thankful for the outcome that occurred at the collaboration and cooperation of all these agencies coming together.
They were really on top of their game, and it was incredibly impressive how just ready and prepared, and the number of people that came together for this baby and to get him stopped was so impressive.
Oh my God.
Now, before the incident on I-5, there were reports that Huizar was spotted up in the Portland area earlier today. I-5 north of Eugene was closed for several hours as investigators continued their work, but is now back open. David, back to you.
Yeah, just glad all of those drivers, and especially that baby boy, are all okay. Thank you, Alma. You know, so much has happened in the last 36 hours or so. We wanted to take a closer look at the timeline here and the suspect. Elias Huizar was a former police officer in Yakima, Washington. He served from late 2014 to 2021. According to court documents, he also previously worked as a school resource officer and is accused of having a sexual relationship and a child with a 15-year-old whom he met while on duty at her middle school. Huizar would have been 37 at the time. Then, this past February, he was arrested for raping a 16-year-old. He was supposed to be in court yesterday to face those charges. Instead, police say he went to an elementary school where his ex-wife worked, waited for her to come out Monday afternoon, and then shot and killed her. Police say they found the body of a second victim at Huizar's home. She is believed to be his girlfriend. It is still not clear exactly when he abducted his 1-year-old son Roman or what happened with the child's mother, but again, that toddler is safe tonight. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, Hillsborough police have arrested and charged a man with kidnapping after the incident was recorded by a doorbell camera. The video, which we brought you Monday at 11, shows a woman screaming for help before a man grabs her and then drags her into a vehicle. This was Sunday evening near Southeast 32nd Avenue and East Main Street. Police say they arrested the suspect early this morning. They add he and the victim knew each other, and the woman in the video is safe. On Capitol Hill tonight, the Senate has passed a bill that sends financial aid to Israel and Ukraine, but it also includes a pathway to ban TikTok in the U.S. The legislation would force TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance to sell it within a year. The foreign aid part of the bill includes $60 billion for Ukraine and $26 billion for Israel. President Biden says he plans to sign it. And high levels of garbage in parts of the Willamette River have caught the state's attention. The Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, the DEQ, is proposing to regulate sections of the river under the Clean Water Act. That means they would be able to hold property owners near the river accountable for preventing trash from entering the water. The heavy amounts of garbage in the river were found near homeless camps in Portland, Eugene, and Corvallis. If this regulation passes, it would make the Willamette only the third body of water in the nation to be regulated under the act because of trash. Well, some unfortunate circumstances on a downtown sidewalk are giving us a glimpse tonight into a unique struggle on Portland streets. This has to do with a pregnant woman who went into labor inside a tent. That was after first responders had been trying to get her help, but she declined time and again. And while the woman who reported using fentanyl just an hour earlier did not want to go to the hospital, her partner called 911 anyway. Now, 12 days later, the baby is still in the hospital and its mother is back on the streets.
Really hard now. Nobody help.
We're working with her as best as possible and giving her every opportunity with every bit of assistance we can give her. It's a matter of how much assistance she wants to receive.
At last check, that mother is still in her tent downtown, which crews recently posted for removal. We understand she's now been connected with outreach workers and is on a list for a tiny home. Portland Public Schools has released its proposed budget for next school year, which means we are getting a clearer picture of where some $30 million in cuts could come from. Catherine Cook is in the newsroom with a look at which jobs will likely be impacted. Catherine?
David, the district says the cuts will be pretty evenly split between the central offices and the schools. In the end, they're estimating a net loss of about 251 positions.
This is going to be a tough season for moving forward. And it's already been a really challenging year.
A year that's shaping up to get even bumpier for Portland Public Schools. Interim Superintendent Sandy Husk spoke plainly after releasing the proposed budget for the 2024-25 school year. It includes a $30 million budget gap. Husk attributes that shortfall to three major factors: declining PPS enrollment, the end of federal pandemic funding, and rising operating costs without a comparable increase in revenue.
This one is going to feel a lot tighter and a lot harder than what you've seen in the past.
Husk said they're investing 80% of their budget in people, but noted significant cuts among staff. That includes about 90 full-time licensed instructional positions, such as teachers, counselors, and support staff. However, for special needs programs, the proposed budget would actually increase licensed staff by about 59 full-time positions.
We will strive to have minimum impact on students.
Other proposed cuts include support services for instructional staff. The budget slashes 30 licensed positions and 26 classified positions. Husk sent a message to PPS employees noting cuts within the district's central offices. Staff learned 110 positions would be cut there. However, 40% of them were already vacant due to a hiring freeze that took effect late last year. As Husk prepares to bring the budget before the school board at a public meeting Wednesday, she acknowledged that closing the budget gap could certainly divide people.
My goal is that we can have a civil discourse about the uncomfortable without making it feel like we're against each other.
We reached out to the Portland Association of Teachers today. A spokesperson told us they didn't have anything to share tonight. However, the teachers union is planning to rally outside tomorrow night's board meeting in protest of the proposed cuts. David.
We will see how it all shakes out. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, let's talk Decision 2024 because a week from Thursday, KGW and the Oregonian will host a live debate between the two candidates for Multnomah County District Attorney. We are giving you a chance to ask questions directly to the candidates for DA, Mike Schmidt and Nathan Vasquez. You can record a short video on your phone and then email it to debate@kgw.com. We also have detailed instructions up for you on kgw.com. Straight ahead on KGW News at 11, we continue our series Uncommitted and learn how hospitals are pushing back on a system that seems to make it nearly impossible to get some mental health care without committing a crime. Plus, Portland school custodians find themselves in the center of someone else's mess, why they're now being asked to return some of their paychecks.
I'm Matt Safino. It was a beautiful day and a warm one. Find out if it was the warmest day of the year. We'll take a look at that and how much cooler it's going to be tomorrow. And then there's the rain. It arrives on Thursday and it stays around for a while.